as we did with triads, you want to practice and learn all your inversions of your seventh chords. Now, this is a very tall order. This is something I spent years doing, studying with my teacher in music school. So, for example, we have C major 7. You want to learn the inversions, okay? So you have C, G, B, D, root, the 5th, the 7th, the 3rd. You're going to go up to the next available chord tone on each string. And this kind of takes a little bit of head scratching to figure this out. So, right, so I went from C to E, I went from G to B, and then from B to C, and E to G. So C major 7th, root position, C major 7th, first inversion, C major 7th, second inversion. What I have to do here is a technique called shared fingertip fretting, where I'm not barring because I need to hit this note, but I'm using the paw of my middle finger to press down both strings here. That may be a problem for some of you with skinny fingers. You know, it helps to have like fat fingertips, or you know, get that paw covering. And then finally, so we went basically on each string. We played the arpeggio. So that's root position, first inversion, second inversion, and then we have what's called third inversion. That's with the 7th in the bass. And then root position again. Root position, third inversion, second inversion, first inversion, root position, and then you could hit the third inversion again. It's a little muddy down here, but you know, you want to be thorough and get to know all your inversions as far as you can, either direction. Okay, that was on the middle 4 strings. Okay, you could do the same thing on the top 4 strings. So I'm going to start C major 7 here, and I'm going to go to my next inversion. This one's really pretty, by the way. It's you look at it as a pair of fifths. You have E B is a fifth, and C G is a fifth, and then you have that minor second half-step cluster in the middle, and then a 10th between the outer 2 notes. You can play it down here. Beautiful, huh? You have that little cluster in the middle, B and C, and you have the fifths, right? Okay, that's first inversion, C major 7, first inversion. It's so called because the third is in the bass. Next one, this is C major 7, second inversion, the 5th in the bass. 5th root, 3rd, 7th, and then third inversion, right? That's with the 7th in the bass. So we went. You want to practice that. May take you a while to get your fingers to go to the right spot, but with practice it'll come. You could do the same thing on the bottom 3 strings. Okay, C major 7th, root 5th, 7th, 3rd, and then you have that interesting one again with the stacked fifths. That's the first inversion. And then you have the second inversion. I'm using you could use 2 fingertips, or you play it down here. That's very warm sounding, right? The 5th in the bass, and then third inversion with the 7th in the bass. Kind of dissonant, but it has its place. You know, say if you're playing a song where you're going, you know, it could be used as a passing chord that creates a little bit of tension. So you want to do this with all, if you really want to be a Jedi Knight, a Shaolin monk, whatever, you know, CIA assassin of the guitar, you're going to be thorough and go all the way and do this with all the 11 chord qualities. So, and all 12 keys too. You know, you could just start with C and G and D and A, you know, to really get your feet wet, but, you know, eventually you want to tackle D flat and G flat and all those crazy keys. So the dominant 7ths, you definitely want to learn these. I mean, even if nothing else, learn the dominant 7ths because they're very useful for blues. So C7, starting on these middle 4 strings again, we'd have root position, first inversion, which was the 3rd in the bass, second inversion, which was the 5th in the bass, and then third inversion with the 7th in the bass. These actually sound, I think, the coolest. very useful to have a bunch of different voicings at your disposal of a chord, you know, not just say, well, C7, that's it. It's only the C7 I know. It'd be nice to be able to go. You know, you can go. They all have different kind of colors. This one's nice because you have a tritone on the bottom. You have the 7th on the bottom, B flat, and then the 3rd above that. You have that biting tritone, and then the 5th and the root on top. You have a perfect 4th on top, and a tritone below it. Okay, so C7. On the top 4 strings, you would start here, and then you would go. You could go to here if you want, but no, forget it. Too high. Okay, on the bottom 4 strings. These are all C7 voicings. So do this in all keys. You know, especially if nothing else, do the dominant 7ths, because those you're going to find those to be the most useful. Let me give you an example. In G, on the top 4 strings. On the middle 4 strings. Okay, different inversions of G7. On the bottom 4 strings. So I would say, if anything, you know, you want to maybe compromise. You don't want to learn all 11 of them and all 12 keys and everything. Just go with the major 7, dominant 7th, minor 7 left 5 and diminished 7. Okay, so here's a practice routine. I used to do this all the time. I would do major 7. Did you dominant 7?